just triggered in at 27.16. Okay, 27.16 on the natural gas. I'm long. I'm going to slide that over here to the side. Just wanted you guys to see it. I'm long 27.16 on the gas, 8 ticks risk. On the gold, we need to close down below here, right? This is the prior swing low. We need to close below that. Right? There's 8 ticks risk on this gas. Do we have a big news event coming today? Let me check. It's 9:54. And at 10, we have no news coming today. Why did I get in natural gas? Because we had an up close above the trend line right here. Okay, we had bullish divergence. And down here, see the cycle is above the green line. The cycle portion of the slingshot is above the green line. We bounced off the BBC. We came up here. It pulled back, and then, oops, there's my trend line. But right there, I closed above the trend line, so I got in right there. And that was a momentum trade. I didn't realize it was a momentum trade. So as soon as it had profit in it, you should move the stop to break even. Okay. As soon as it had profit in it, stop should have gone to break even on that. And that just stopped me out. I'm getting a rough start again today. Last week I got a rough start. 4 out of 5 days. I did green on every day, but
Okay, guys, those of you that were in here early and I was talking with you, remember we pulled those fibs from the swing high Friday to the swing low this morning, overnight. We're now back at the 24% retracement again. Okay, my previous candle, we didn't quite physically touch it. Sellers are defending that area. They defended it now on an hourly chart once. Well, we'll just call this the second time. From a bigger picture point of view, consider being short below 2069 down to 2067. It's a beautiful trade if you can get it. 2069 to 2067. And then the long ones that I gave you on the upside, those are possibly about to become reality. That's again 2077 to 2079, and then if we get through that area, 81 to 83. Okay, so that covers you S&P traders for the morning. It gives you a trade on the short side, 2 trades on the long side. Okay, aside from the indicators, aside from the concierge alerts, just based on the chart formation this morning, the way it's shaping up and what's happening in the market. We have, as Michael said, no major news to drive us today, and so the market's going to have to find its energy to do whatever it is it wants to do somewhere else. Can news happen during the day, spur of the moment, unplanned? Yes. But if you're new, the first thing you want to do is you want to go check your daily economic reports. First thing, before you start trading, because you don't want to be getting live in front of some news event that you're unaware of. Okay? Nothing wrong with trading the news, as long as you know there is news. Yep, I don't got a single high impact event either. We've got just some real employment, some other, just nothing. Nothing and more nothing. I like the way they've changed the format. It says like it tells me it's 1 minute to the CB employment trends. 1 minute to the core CPI for Mexico. It's just another line of code, but it works well.
All right, I'm short crude right here. It looks like it's pulling back up to the BBC, which is right where my stop happens to be. We'll see how that pans out here. It's 9:59. You know, the markets are acting like there's some sort of news event coming out, but there's none.
Now tomorrow at 10:35 Eastern, the Bank of England Governor Carney is going to speak, and that's a high impact. That will affect those of us here in America as well as those in England. So.
Excuse me. All right, so we stopped out of crude. This is a rough start this morning. I'm going to need some good volatility here to fix this, to right these wrongs. Excuse me. All right.
On the radio show today, guys, following the live trading room, we will be talking about our focus for the week, what's available. I put on the Google Plus page some numbers for you regarding Friday's market and the concierge alerts that went out last Thursday night. It will, if you start viewing it in that light of as what's available, and we talked about that in the workshop. Oh, the workshop. I'll put the workshop up right now. Because I didn't.
All right. On crude now, guys, it's gone the other way. Get long right here, 49.67. Okay, if you wanted to. 49.67, 49.68 right in there. All right. Again, 8 ticks risk, and we're looking for 4 ticks profit. 4 ticks profit or price to close on the other side of the MA1, whichever happens first. Move the stop to break even. And there's 4 ticks profit. Okay, gonna lock in 4 ticks. Lock in 8 ticks. 13 ticks. Come on, keep going. And 14 ticks. Okay, so I'm flat with 14 ticks on that one.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Now, you can use a bracketed trade. We always have a hard stop of 8 ticks. You can have a hard target as well, or you can trail your stop as Michael just did. Okay. You were trading what, gas? We need 10 ticks? So what you're trading?
Yeah, that one was crude.
That was crude. Okay, $10 per tick, so you need 10 ticks. You ended up with how many?
14.
14, okay.
And it's pulling back again. It's setting up another long trade right there. Okay, we got a low right here of 49.79. It would have a high of 49.83. 49.83, right? 49.78. Gonna have a high of 49.82. An up close at 49.82 would be a momentum long trade, but it gives us a down close, not an up close. All right, so now we got a low of 49.77. We'd have a high of 49.81. Okay, we'd be looking for the up close at 49.81. On gold right here at 71.4. I'm going to try 71.5. I've missed the 71.4, and now I've missed the whole thing. Okay, there was a long trade right over here on gold. I'll highlight it. I'll show you the trend line. That's a shame that I missed that. It was right there, the up close above that trend line. There's actually one from down here too. So there are a couple of trades there on gold. I'm not sure why the gold is running right here. The ES has got a long trade setting up right here too. I'll show you that in just a second. This up close right here on the crude at 49.81. It's a long trade there. The ES has a long trade from right here at 74, 2074. Okay. Alright, and the crude is pulling back again. Let's see. 49.83 is low on this. 49.87 would be the high. And up close at 49.87 on the crude would be, no, 49.86 would be a long trade. And up close at 49.86 would be a long trade. There it goes. Bang. Alright. Any of you guys get into that? Okay, I'm on. I'll go over that in just a second. Okay. Any of you guys get into the 49.86 entry here? Stop should be a break even on that. No. Stop at +2 now. I know I'm a little late on moving my stop on that one. Sorry, guys. Alright, I'm out with 2 on that. This is another one right here. This would be a momentum long trade from right there. Okay. Gold. This up close right in here on gold. You know, if you want to wait for this bar to close up 71.8 up to 72.2 and up close at 72.2 on the gold would be a long trade. There was another trade right over here on the crude. Right there on the crude. Right. Natural gas is just stuck. That ES, if any of you guys get into the ES, bounce off of here. I said 2074. It's now gone up to 2075 and a half. Okay. On the gold, I was waiting for the up close. We didn't get it. We got a down close. Gonna move the trend line over. I'm on. In this particular one, let me blow it up a little bit so you can see it. Let me just first see if we got any more. Okay, the cycle's going down pretty steep, so we're not going to look for that anymore. Alright, in this particular one, the way the trend line should have been drawn to begin with was like this. Okay, and then this bar had a wick above the trend line. Okay, right here the bar had a wick above the trend line. So you got to move the trend line over to take that wick into account. After taking that wick into account, you're looking for an up close above the trend line. We had bullish divergence. We even had a blue cycle. We finally got the up close. Excuse me, guys. We finally got the up close, and so I jumped in, and up it went. Now you see how the cycle is going down really steep right here? We wouldn't be going long because of that. Okay. The ES just went up to 76. Alright, from 74 up to 76. And look Look at the cycle over here. What market is this? Soybeans. Soybeans. We're in the K contract on soybeans. Bert, when is the grain report out? Is that out tomorrow? Tomorrow at noon?
Yeah, what's today, the 9th?
Yeah.
So, yeah, if it does come out, it'll be 11 o'clock Chicago, so noon your time. Yep, you're right, tomorrow.
That's what I thought. Okay. So soybeans, guys, you probably don't want to be in soybeans at noon tomorrow. Just saying. Thanks, Frank. All right, on the ES, it's pulling back like this. The gold still needs to close above this trend line, but right now the black step line is about to cross below the BBC. So we wouldn't be taking a trade if that was below the BBC. Okay, over here on the Russell, that is our trend line on the Russell. It's got a low of 21.3, it'll have a high of 21.7. So I'm close at 21.7.
I had my mic off. The video's up for anybody that hasn't had a chance to see it.
Okay.
And we're coming up on 2077, guys. Remember, 77 to 79, and then 81 to 83 on the S&P. That's just based on what we're looking at on the hourly chart. Doesn't have anything to do with the indicators or with the alerts. It's just what's in front of us. Okay.
All right. This up close, actually this up close right here on the Russell at 21.6 was a long trade. I'm not in that. I had the ES dragged over here so you could see 75.75. If we get an up close at 75.75, that would be a long trade as well. All right. This one was right there. Now the ES is looking at 75.50. Okay. On the crude, she's got that.
Always have to register for the live trading every month.
Down close of the current bar on crude would be a short trade. Okay, you see that bar closed up, not down. That's what the trend line looks like now. The ES closed up at 75.50. There's a long trade there right now. 75.5 on the ES. Okay. All right. If this bar closes down on the crude, it would be a short trade. 49.86 down to 49.82. Okay, it didn't close down, it closed up, so now you gotta move this trend line over. You see? Because that right there is the new swing low. Okay.
Skip, the answer to your question is yes. 2077 to 2079, not indicator base, not alert base, just looking at the chart base. That's all. You're welcome. If we get through that area, and there will be a battle, once we're beyond the battle, 81 to 83. Well, the sun finally came up. It's a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky.
Well, that's good. Alright, so there's nothing here on gold. And on the crude, this bar needs to close down. It's got a high of 49.87. It will have a low of 49.83. So down close at 49.83 on the crude would be a short trade. Okay. Alright, it closed up, not down. Now we're testing the BBC on the crude. Okay, now the crude's bouncing a little bit. Let's move our trend line over. That's our trend line on the crude. Okay. Alright, so we're not going to have a trade there on the crude because the black step line is crossed up above. Unless it crosses back down below when we close below the trend line. Alright, we got a high of 49.88. We're going to have a low of 49.84. Okay. Okay, now on the crude, it's got a high of 49.89. It'll have a low of 49.85, so down close there at 49.85 on the crude would be a short trade. Okay, you need to get that down close at 49.85 for the short trade. The Russell just dropped through its weekly trading zone right here. And look for it to pull back up to it at some point. And the ES at 75.50 on the ES didn't go anywhere. It just pulled back to 73.50. Okay. And here is the Russell pulling back to its weekly trading zone right here. Alright, the crude did not close down. It closed up, so we got no trade over there. Okay. Alright, look for a down close here on the Russell. It's got a high of 20. It's going to have a low of 19.6. So a down close at 19.6 on the Russell would be a short trade. Okay. Wasn't there a down close above the BBC that would have triggered an entry? The black step line was crossed up here, and it had to close down below the trend line, James. Okay. You see that? Because we had blue on the cycle, we had to close below the trend line. Now watch the Russell here. Ding ding. That's it on the Russell.
Are you with us, Bert, at the moment?
Yep.
We were talking on the show Friday, I think. There's a new contract coming out. It's going to start trading, I want to say, March 18th. For the life of me, I can't remember what the doggone thing is. Is there anybody in here this morning that was on the radio show Friday when we were talking about that new contract the CME is releasing? It seemed like one that might, Dave and I were talking about it, like it might draw attention. What was it? Oh, oil storage. That's what it was. Have you heard about this, Bert?
Oh, oil storage.
Oil storage?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'll bring up a thing. Oil storage. Because they're running out of room to put all the oil storage contract. It was a big news headline. The rush to hoard oil is getting so intense there's a market forming for oil storage futures contracts. It's because the market's in super contango.
Right.
And let's see here. CME Group announced a new futures contract for Gulf Coast crude oil storage at the beginning of every month. This is going to be much different than I thought. A 30-minute online auction will be held through brokerage NEO. Will sell 7,000 contracts. Each contract will give the buyer the right, but not the obligation, to store 1,000 barrels of sour crude in Loop's Clovely hub. Once the contracts are sold through the auction, then they can be bought and freely sold. At the end of the month, anyone holding a contract can use the storage space, which will hold the oil in either an above-ground tank or an underground cavern.
All right, I just shorted
Okay.
gold as well. I'm short crude and gold here now. I'm sorry, I'm short the Russell and gold. Go ahead.
Bert, you think that'll draw any attention? Or it'll be
I
one of, like a has-been,
think it'll be has-been.
or never was? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I heard the term sour crude used. We normally hear sweet crude.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. On the Russell, we needed to close below the MA1 to move the stop to break even. We haven't gotten that yet. On the gold, we need 4 ticks profit or close below the MA1. Okay, we haven't gotten that yet either. Almost, but not quite. Stop to break even on the gold. I'm actually going to lock in a tick.
FYI, I turned on two-step authentication for our admin panel behind all our email and everything, Michael, so if you want to engage it, let me know.
Okay.
Because of things that are happening, it's something you might, I don't know if you want to need it or, but I turned it on. Just a matter of
Okay.
throwing a switch.
All right. All right, thank you.
So what that means is you go to log into your email, it'll send a code to your phone. You got to type in the code that comes on your phone before it actually lets you in. It's pretty hard to hack your email.
That's good, I guess. In case anyone was hacking my email.
I use that on PayPal, the two-step authentication.
Okay. That's good. Sounds like it's good.
All the cool kids are doing it.
Sounds like it's good. All right, I got out with 1 tick profit on the gold, and I stopped out of the Russell. And the crude is now pulling back again, possibly to give us an opportunity. Hopefully to give us an opportunity. And not yet. Yeah, we really don't have anything here that's looking real good right at the moment.
Okay, guys, we got a little over an hour left. All right, Michael, a little under the weather today. Market conditions not as favorable as they could be. He will do all that he can to trade his way out of this situation and into a profitable day. He'll be showing you the spreadsheet towards the end of the morning session. We're here for 2 hours, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Your trial is good for 5 days, 5 back-to-back trading days. This afternoon, for those who are interested, we'll hold a short class, infamous last word, our short class yesterday ran a little over 2 hours. To all of you that came, it was nice to see you. It's not as wild and crazy this morning as I told you it would be. Normally it's pretty brisk, but again, market conditions, Michael a little under the weather, so those that want to meet up this afternoon, get a few things explained to you, support@cfrn.net, and if I get a group of, 5 or more, then I'll carve some time out of my schedule and we'll meet.
I was just long on crude there, guys, on the minimum long trade. Just took me out with a tick profit.
I'm sorry? I think your
Said it
mic was on it.
Said it was long on crude on a momentum long trade. It took me out with 1 tick profit.
Okay. You had a nice turnout yesterday for a Sunday afternoon.
That's good. The Russell stopped me out pretty much to the tick, and now look at what it's done. It's gone exactly where we thought it was going to go. Alright, well, we'll trade it again. Hopefully we'll get in the next one. Natural gas, over there was a momentum long trade on the natural gas. To get into this move up, it would have been right here, this up close right there. A little bit of divergence down there, close above the trend line right there. On the Russell, we have a high of 18.5. You could short right there at 18.1 on that. Okay, I'm trying 18.0 right here, but I'm not filling yet. Let me blow that up. Yeah, if I'd have drawn the trend line a little better right there, 18.1 was the spot to get a short. Okay, so stop to break even, I did fill at 18.0. Stop to break even. Stop to plus a tick. And a flat with plus a tick.
The question on the radio Friday was, will we close below the weekly trading zone? And we closed inside of the lowest weekly trading zone. During the course of the day Friday, we got all the way down to a low of 2065.50. The rules say we'll close at or above 2072, and we closed at 2072.75. That was cool to watch, just the final moment there.
The final countdown.
Final few minutes.
All right.
Popped right in there.
Well, we put in a lower swing over here on the Russell, so now we need to see it pull back and give us another shorting opportunity in there. Okay, that's sort of how the trend line will start. Over here on the natural gas, that's what our trend line looks like there. It is a tough market, Greg. The partner trades, right in here, inverted 137. Right in here, inverted 137. The partner trades would work out well here. We need a down close of this bar on the Russell, be at 17.6. here on the crude. Right now we're still looking at 17.6 for the down close on the Russell, and over here on the crude, there's a 17.6 down close on the Russell. Right, so we're short the Russell at 17.6. We need 4 ticks profit or a close below the MA1 to move the stop to break even. Over here on the crude right now, it's got a high of 49.94. A down close at 49.90 would be a short trade there. Okay. I'm just going to stick this over here. Okay, so we can watch it here. Man. Alright, so we just stepped out of that Russell. The Russell is killing me today. The Russell and natural gas. Crude, need a down close here. 49.97 is the high. 49.93 will be the low. Okay, that down close right there on crude would be a short trade. What we're anticipating here is this green line is going to turn down and get all the way down into the cycle. When it does, we'll put in a lower swing. We'll be down below 49.89. Okay. These markets are tough right now. Sorry, I was chewing. The crude did what I thought it was going to do right there. Stop at break even on that. Take off my original stop. And I'm out of break even on the crude. Alright, 727 is low over here on the natural gas. Now 726 is low over here on the natural gas. 730 will be the high. That's not going to be high enough by itself. We're going to have to go all the way up to the next bar from 730 up to 734. Okay, so you'd be looking at 734 as a possible entry on natural gas, unless it keeps going down. That would be 733 you'd be looking at on natural gas. Alright. The Russell's going up into a weekly trading zone here, so we can't do anything with that right at the moment. We don't have anything we can do on the ES right now. Nothing on crude right at the moment. And natural gas is the only hope right here for a trade. Alright, 725 is low, 733 would be the high. Now it's not going to be 733, it'd be 732 would be the high on that natural gas. Okay, 732 would be the high on the natural gas. $731 would be the high on the natural gas. Right, and up close at 731 would be a long trade. And that is on the natural gas. Alright. That's not the case anymore. So I'm going to take that order off right now. Alright, the Russell is up inside its weekly trading zone now. See it right here, inside the zone. There's the up close on the natural gas at 731. Alright, and there it goes. Stop to break even. I'm in at 732. Okay, stop to break even. Stop to +4. Get rid of my original stop. Okay. So we're flat with +4 on that gas trade. Yeah, so we got +4 on that over here. From there up to here. And now the natural gas is pulling back. And so are the soybeans here, guys, but we don't have the divergence in the right place here for the soybeans. On the gas, we've got a low of 31. It'll have a high of 35. So an up close there at 35 on the gas would be a long trade. Alright, on crude, we've got that trend line right there. Okay, now we've got a low of 12. We're going to have a high of 16. So an up close at 16 on the crude would be a long trade. Okay, and up close at 16 on crude would be a long trade. Alright, the crude closed down, not up. I gotta extend my trend line here. 50.09 is low, 50.13 would be the high. 50.13 is not going to be high enough. Unless we hit the BBC here, we need to close above the trend line. Okay? And you can see we haven't hit the BBC yet. BBC is the green line right here on price. Okay. Alright, now we've hit the BBC, we just need an up close. As long as the cycle stays blue, we just need an up close here on crude. 50.07 is the low, 50.11 would be the high. Alright, so an up close at 50.11 on the crude would be a long trade. And there it is. The up close at 50.11 on crude. I'm trying to drag my DOM over so you can see it. Alright, we're long 50.11. Alright, you see down here on the bottom, we have bullish divergence. That means the cycle is above the green line in the slingshot. What we anticipate is that the green line is going to turn up and get all the way up in the cycle. And when it does, price will be up above 50.20. Okay. So we're looking for 4 ticks profit or a close above the MA1 here to move our stop to break even. Alright, my risk is 8 ticks away. Always 8 ticks on the risk. Alright, and there's 4 ticks profit. Stop to break even. Lock in 4. Get rid of my original stop. And it should get up above 50.20 right here. Alright, it just took me out with 4 ticks profit.
Good job. How many ticks did it make available?
Well, it's still going, actually, but
Okay.
50.17, so it made 6 ticks available, and I just took
Okay.
4.
Made 6 ticks available. And what market were you in?
Crude oil.
Crude oil. So he needed 10. He had 60% of his daily production on the table. He could have just took it. If you take 60% of your daily production twice, well, you're over the top for the day. But by using that aggressive risk management, he was able to not only lock in 4 ticks. Okay, that's not only are we we no longer have any risk on the trade, but we have money in the bank. We got a check for 4 ticks that we can cash. Plus, we still had a ticket to be in the trade in the event it wanted to run. But before it ran, it pulled back, stopped us out. That's okay. All we have to do is repeat that once or twice more over the course of the day, and you've reached your daily goal, not by beating the market, not by taking it down, not by knocking it out, not by any other thing other than simply accepting what was made available to you. Takes all the grunting and groaning and griping out of the process.
It does.
And if you find yourself saying, I wish I had a lot, well then, start doing that, whatever that is. It might not be that particular thing, but in trading, if you find yourself going, I wish I had or I should have, if you say it enough times, then really sit down and think about it. Not in the middle of a trading session, but when you have some quiet time, some downtime, should I rewrite my trading plan? Do I need to make it, write an amendment to my trading plan because of something I now understand that I didn't understand when I actually wrote it? And if you haven't written it and you're having an issue, well then get busy writing it, okay? It's an important step in the process.
And up close at 37 on the current crude bar would be a momentum long trade. Okay. I think you're doing. There's the momentum long trade. Remember, with a momentum trade, as soon as you get any profit in the trade, you got to move your stop to break even. Okay, remember that with a momentum trade, as soon as there's profit in that trade, stop goes to break even. Okay, because you've already met the requirement for moving the stop to break even. All right. All right, the gold is tanking right here. Gold is dropping. And we're back looking at the same thing again on the crude. Soybeans are starting to move up here, guys. The soybeans had a
If
long
you need to grab that, go
No, it's
ahead.
okay. It'll stop ringing here in a second.
Okay.
There. Okay. Just disconnected the phone. All right. So on the soybeans, this up close right here at 993 is a long trade. All right. All right. Looking around, it's 10:46. We've got about 45 minutes left in here, guys. I hope the markets provide me enough opportunity to get out of this stuff I'm in. I need some pretty good trades here. Gold, it's pulling back. And that's what we have there. All right. Yeah, if I'd have stayed in that crude right there. What was I in? 50.11? No. There's another trade right here on it. 39. But 50.11 all the way up to 50.40, that would have done it. Alright, I had been looking at a natural gas trade over here, but it never happened. Okay, so there's no trade over there on the natural gas. I'm still waiting for this bar to close here on the gold so we can see where we draw a trend line. Excuse me. The crude running again, guys. Stop should go to break even, or plus a couple of ticks on that. Okay, I'm in at 39 on that. Alright, 9 ticks locked in, 11 ticks locked in on the crude.
You go, boy. You go,
And I'm
boy.
flat.
And he's flat.
And I'm flat.
Good job.
We're getting there.
The comeback kid. That's what they call him.
there to there. This is another momentum long trade here on the crude. It's already gone a few ticks in profit, so I'm going to wait for the pullback. Over here on the gold, the down close of this bar right here. Down close of this bar would be a short trade. Okay, we got some good divergence on the crude now. 61 up to 65, and up close there at 65 would be another momentum long trade. Okay, that's not happening. And
Daniel H., are you in here yet?
$50.54 up to 50, never mind. 50.53 to 57 is not going to be high enough. 52 to 56, and up close at 56 on the crude would be a long trade. Okay, and up close at 56 on the crude would be a long trade. That down close right there at 69.1 on the gold is a momentum short trade. As soon as you get any profit in the trade, you got to move your stop to break even on that. Okay, 56, we just got the up close on the crude. Stop to break even on that. Get rid of the original stop. Start locking in some profit. 4 ticks locked in. And it took me out with 4 ticks profit on the crude.
Way to go. Good job. So that other 4 you're stopped out at with 4, and then you're stopped out with 4. Well, that's 8. So depending on the market you're in. But then you had that other one in the middle that ran. So
Yeah, I had 11 on.
how many were made available in this last trade?
So far, I got in at 56, and it went up to 64, so it had 8.
It was 8. And so the market made 8 available, but because you had no way of knowing if it's going to continue to run or if it's going to turn around and come back on you, you elected to lock in 4 and stay in the trade.
Yes.
Man. Wow.
Over and over again.
Over and over.
All right. The gold has a momentum trade that's going on right now from 69.1. As soon as you get any profit in that, you should move your stop to break even. The soybeans, working on a long trade over there. The crude did not put in a higher swing on that last move, so you got nothing on the crude. Now the crude could pull back quite a bit right here. The gold, I can now put my stop at break even on. All right, I was in at 69. 69.1 was the optimal place, and I'm flat on the gold at break even. Where was it? That was over here. From there to there. What time frame? They're all the same, Anthony. They're all 4-tick range charts. Okay, Jim, Dwayne.
Wait.
That's good. Jim. Alright, on the ES, guys, for those of you who are watching the ES, it's starting to pull back to possibly give
Jim A., we should talk.
a
Whenever you want, let me know.
Alright, on the crude, it's got to get up above this level. I mean, close above that level. Okay, Anthony, they're all 4-tick range charts. Okay, so every bar on every chart is the same size. They're all 4 ticks in height. Okay. Does everybody know the difference between a range chart and a tick chart?
Tick charts measure transactions. A range chart is based not on number of transactions, nor does it have any time element. Every candle is 4 ticks tall. And so when it goes one more tick north or one more tick south, that generates a new candle. So how long then does it take to create a range candle? It could be 4 seconds, 4 minutes, 4 hours, 4 days. Depends upon price action. Typically we look for the markets where it's not 4 days, it's more like 4 minutes. And in some cases, it will be 4 seconds if the market around the open can start to move very fast.
Yes, yes indeed. All right.
Yeah, that's great, Jim. Give me a buzz. Tomorrow will be fine.
The gold did end up dropping, guys. After it took me out at break even, it did end up going down. The Russell looks like it's going to be moving up out of the weekly trading zone soon here. The ES, if the current bar closes up on the ES, if the current bar closes up on the ES, it would be a 75 and a quarter. I'm sorry, 77 and a quarter. That would be a long trade. Okay, back here on the gold, on the crude, we needed to close above that level right there. We still need to close above that level. Soybeans not looking so good here. They seem to be going back down. The beans may be just stagnant until the crop report comes out tomorrow. Look at this. It's not a trending market right now. They've had a range today of 88.75 to 94 and a quarter. So that's less than 6 cents. It's the norm for soybeans. Alright, the ES closed down, not up. This bar right here was the one I was looking for the up close on. Now you gotta move the trend line like that. Alright. Excuse me. Alright, we gotta close above the box now, but we don't have the right divergence on the crude. Okay. Did get to close above the box, we just don't have the right divergence there. And the soybeans look like they're going to drop here. Again, it's not a trending market right now. On gold, we would need a pullback here. On the ES, we've pulled all the way back down to test the BBC, but the cycle's going to turn red on the close of this bar. Whether it's up or down, I think the cycle's going to be red. In that case, you would need to close above the trend line. Okay. It doesn't matter anyway. We don't have any divergence down here on the crude. I think we're done with crude for right now, guys. On the gold, we need a down close below the trend line. We got a high of 68.5. We're going to have a low of 68.1. So a down close there at 68.1 on the crude. On the gold, sorry. On the gold. Alright. The crude right now seems to be trying to reset the cycle, which means we should have a big move up, and then we'll be able to take some more long trades. That's what it looks like is happening there. Alright, it's 10:58. We got about a half an hour left in here, guys. Currently at minus 12 on gas, minus 23 on the Russell, plus 1 on gold, and plus 29 on crude. I could still get my goal for the day here. Well, that's good, Norm. Oh. Yeah, and I got stopped out to the tick a couple of times, Greg, on different markets, which the Russell, particularly the Russell, I think was ugly to me today. This one just stopped me out. This one stopped me out to the tick, pretty much. This one just stopped me out. Well, it ended up going down. It just pulled all the way back into the zone. And if I'd have stayed in one of those crude runners, then I'd be at my goal for the day. So you guys get to watch me struggle today. Struggle to get to my goal for the day. I'm down 5 ticks right now. This is where I stand. So I have a half an hour to make 15 ticks to get to my goal for the day. Alright. On the gold, we have a high here on the gold of 68.7. We're going to have a low of 68.3. So a down close at 68.3 on the gold would be a short trade. Alright, now 68.8 down to 68.4. 68.4 is not going to be low enough. So we'd be looking at 68.1. Oh no, wait a minute. 68.9 down to 68.5. We could short 68.5 on the down close right there. On the gold. The Russell is not trending here. Not a trending market. Okay? And there's the fill on the gold. Okay. 4 ticks profit or a close below the MA1, the stop goes to break even. Yeah, man, get down there. It's got to get down to 68. Stop will go to break even. Come on, one more tick. Give it to me. That was so close. It was down to one contract at 68.1. Alright, the crude is going to be putting up a momentum long trade here. An up close of the current bar on crude would be a momentum long. I'm going to put this back over here. Focus on the crude. Alright, well that's our trend line now on the crude. Alright, we have good divergence there again now. And we need no close above that trend line. Good, John. Just follow the rules, brother. Hey, what happened to Andy? Thought I was going to hear from Andy. Alright, there's 4 ticks profit on the gold. Stop to break even on that. I hope the gold just runs here. Close below the MA1 is what it really needs right here on the gold. And then we should have a runner. Nothing here on the crude. I'd like to see the Russell start running here too, one way or the other. So it's a trending market. You know, right now it's not trending. We almost got that close below the MA1 there on the gold that we need. locking in 5 ticks profit here on the gold.
It's $50 per contract, guys. What he just locked in,
Here it is.
$50 per contract.
7,
$70 per contract.
8.
$80. If you've been following the 2420 blueprint for a year, that 80 could be 800. So you're out with 8?
Yep, I'm out with 8.
Good job.
So I now am positive on the day. And I only need 7 more ticks. Alright, you see how we're not trending here on the Russell, right? We're not trending on the Russell. Jim's got a question for you in the box, Dwayne.
All right, Jim, let me go to the box. Where's the box? There it is. There it is. Jim, what number should I call you tomorrow? What would be the best time? Jim, best thing you could do is email me the best number to reach you at, the best time to call you, and I'll let you know for sure if I can do that, because I need to know if we're going to need charts. So do I have to be at my desk, not at my desk? So if you're going to be at your office or wherever you work from, send me a phone number. Best time to reach you after the radio show. Now the radio show has been running 5 hours. Okay, I've been doing an after show of about 3 hours. I'm not going to do that every day. We'll see how the day flows.
Excuse me. Alright,
Amon, talk about that blueprint, can you please? Yeah, Amon, we talk about it almost every Thursday night in the Partners Workshop. Have you read through it? Is there anything you don't understand? Is there a direct question that I can answer? Because Michael's got trading to do, so I don't want to go off into a deep thing about the blueprint right now, but I can answer a specific question. Oh, no problem. I'll email it to you right now.
$50.60, a down close here at $50.60 on the crude would be a short trade. Okay, down close at $50.60 on the crude would be a short trade. Alright, now, depends if the cycle stays red or not on a down close. If the cycle stays red at $50.61, down close at $50.61, then it would be a short trade. If it turns blue, then it's going to close below the trend line. Okay.
There you go, Amon.
Rod wants you to send them to him too. Okay, I think it's going to stay red. There it is, guys. It's still red. So that is a short trade from right there, 50.61 on the crude oil.
Okay, Rod.
Okay. I'll stop to break even on the crude. I'm in at 50.60, not 50.61. 2 ticks locked in. Come on, get down there. There it goes. 4 ticks. Whoa. It didn't let me drop it. Get down there. 3 ticks. 4 ticks. Right there is the goal for the day. Ding ding.
I knew you'd do it.
There it is. 7 ticks on crude.
Ding, ding.
Alright, so this is not a normal day, guys. It doesn't normally take me this long to get it. This is 99 minutes. And a whole bunch of trades. 8, 11, 12, 13. Oh, that took forever. Alright. So I got it now, I just gotta stay positive.
Think happy thoughts.
I mean, above 0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and stay positive. I'm always positive, you know. My glass is always half full. No matter what kind of crises I happen to be in. My glass is always half full. Jesus, things always work out for Michael. 68.2 is the high. 67.8 would be the low on this. And that is gold. Yeah, when the crude closed right here, it bounced off the BBC I'm on. We had bearish divergence and a red cycle. That's why I took it. Right there. Okay. That was way down at one point today. It's down 30, 39 ticks at one point.
All right, Rod, you good to go?
Is there a new link?
Jeff G, I just got your email. Yes, thank you very much. Jeff G, you the man, as they say.
It's a momentum short trade right in here. Actually, it's not even a momentum trade. It's, oh yeah, I don't know. Right here at 50.56. I'm not in it. It would have been right here. Okay. Gold is trying to put something together over here as well. 68.2 is the high on this. 67.8 would be the low. The Russell's back inside the weekly trading zone.
Paul P, Michael will answer that email after the live trading room today. Excuse me. I'm not even sure if you're in here right now. Are you in here right now, Paul P?
Paul P. Paul P. You've been using that. It takes a while to get all blue or red.
Yeah, Amon, that's pretty funny. You've been hanging around David too long. Mm-hmm. Okay, Rod, you're good to go. You're welcome.
Yeah, Paul, I don't know. Paul P. I know that there's a difference, but there's a difference in the data. You're not getting your data from Gain Capital. And the way that
It could be bundled, not bundled, filtered, not filtered.
And the way Ninja handles range charts is different, and the way that the way that they handle data from the CME is different. Alright. It's 11:13, guys. 11:13.
Man. So you going to a doctor or what? I mean,
Nah, I'll be okay. I'll be alright.
you be all right? Okay.
Yeah, I'll be alright. Something in my chest. I don't know what it is. I could feel it on the way to Connecticut on Friday.
It's in your chest.
Yep.
Be careful.
Then I went to my dad's 70th birthday party on Friday.
For some reason, I picture your dad as looking like Roger Moore. I don't know why, but that's just how I picture him. Does he look anything like Roger Moore?
You know what? I'll send you a picture.
Well, no, you can just say yes or no. It's a yes or no question.
He looks like me.
Oh, okay.
I look like him, I should say. He was there first. Excuse me. I know there was a picture of this today. It's me and my sister.
All right, you can tell the economy's coming back. All the landscapers got new trucks. Yeah.
Is that how you tell?
There was a diesel truck running outside my window. Yeah.
When did we do Kansas City?
The other day, my wife and I ran out of things to argue about, so we decided to argue about whether or not the word semi was in Janis Joplin's Me and Bobby McGee. Yes or no?
Yes.
No. It is not.
I guess it's not.
Diesel's in there, but not semi. Windshield wipers slapping time. That's one of the greatest lyrics ever written, right there. Yeah. But you had to know Janice to really appreciate her.
Yeah.
Which, of course, I didn't, so. And the S&P, no trigger on the alerts. The Russell, no trigger on the alerts. The Dow, luckily, some triggers there. But for the,
Probably gonna
for
trigger.
the indices, just flat city. Goodness gracious.
Please state the email question for all listeners before answer. Oh. I see what you mean. Well, they're not all emails, Calvin. And sometimes it's personal stuff that people need to have taken care of. On the gold, guys, stop should go to break even on that. This down close over here is 67.8 was the spot. It was in 67.7. It dropped down to 67.3. Stop to break even. I wonder if that actually went to my email. I don't think so.
Oh, Greg, she won because I said it said semi and she said it didn't.
gold, I'm out of break even. Okay. Sorry, I was looking for a picture of my dad, and I found one. Here, Dwayne, are you at the computer?
Yeah.
That's my dad.
Nothing like Roger Moore. Okay.
It's me and my dad. That was a year ago. I think that was his birthday last year. Right, it's 11:20, guys. 11:20.
Okay, this morning has flown by, guys. For those of you that are here on the trial, okay, when the markets aren't real active, it's kind of hard to do much. So this is an unusually unactive day. When we have the S&P and the Russell, major indices not triggering a concierge alert on the long or short side during the entire morning session. Now what will happen in 9 minutes when the European markets close, some juice will come into the U.S. markets. Whether it runs it up or runs it down remains to be seen. But we take a 30-minute break, and during that 30-minute break, almost always when we come back, the charts look quite a bit different. You know, today's so quiet, you may not even notice. So, but remember, there was no major high-impact news to drive the markets this morning. We do have an Apple event where they're going to introduce the smartwatch beginning at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is now my time. So that's an hour and a half from now. So we'll be reporting live on that as information comes in. Some are saying the battery life, if you actually have the display turned on, is only good for like 2.5 hours. Other people are saying that's not true. So we'll see what Tim has to say when he hits the stage this morning, Steve Jobs style. Again, those of you that want to do a class this afternoon, those of you on the trial, those of you that want some questions answered, you know, what's this line? Why do you do that? How does what's the core methodology? How does it work? How does the trade setup work? Email me support@cfrn.net. If I decide to do a class this afternoon outside of the radio show, outside of the after show, I will email you an invitation, and I will give you at least an hour advance notice. So there. The class from last night, that video is already posted on the Google Plus page. It was an orientation class for new people. It pretty much souped the nuts, answered a lot of questions. I was able to answer a lot of questions last night. And so, you know, after you've gone through this whole trading room experience, you'll see something hopefully very different tomorrow, and that the markets will be brisk. And usually the complaint is, well, I can't keep up with Michael. He moves too fast. He jumps from market to market. Well, there just hasn't been much to jump to today, unfortunately.
That FDAX looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah. Bert, did you ever get any word back from Eurex? Is that margin going to stay in place? Is that a temporary thing? Bert. Okay, he must have had to step away. We started, we did weekly zones for the FDAX, beautiful. We did trade alerts for the FDAX, beautiful. And then overnight, they yanked the margins from $2,800 to $2,800 to 10,000 euros. So most traders who are just getting started learning to trade should not be in a market such as that with margins of that size. Not when you have markets at your fingertips that you can trade for $500 per contract. If you purchase a contract in the S&P 500, your intraday margin is 500. But because we only risk 8 ticks on any trade, you're putting up 500, risking 100, controlling over $100,000 of equity in the S&P 500 best of breed. Walk into a stockbroker's office, plop down $500 and say, huh, how far will that get me? He'll probably tell you it'll get you a coffee downstairs, lunch across the street, and a bus ticket back home. That's about it. Future's a very different world. Go ahead.
I said that. We plop down what, $100? Okay, $100 would be
$500.
Oh, $500.
You got to
okay.
plop down 500, but you're only risking 100 of the 500. But you have the buying power of $100,000. Is the point I'm trying to get across to everybody. It's as if you had 100 grand.
All right, guys, it's 11:25. It's time to go through the spreadsheet. I wanted to show Bill the NQ really quick.
GNG is natural gas, NQ is the NASDAQ. Oh, you already typed it in. So.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
You use the same trade setup, the same time frame, the same indicators, the same everything on every market, Bill. I already have two indexes. You know, I have the ES that I monitor and the Russell that I actually trade. So, you know, I'm not going to have the NQ as well. It's a little redundant. With the NQ, you can see, you know, the trade setup is you get a bullish cross of the MA1 over the BBC. Then the BBC comes back down and hits, I mean, the price comes back down and hits the BBC, or it doesn't. If it doesn't, or if the cycle is the wrong color, down here in the slingshot, the cycle is the red and blue line. If the cycle is the wrong color, or if price doesn't actually hit the BBC, then you got to use a trend line and close on the other side of the trend line to take the trade. Tomorrow, I will go through all the trade setups, okay? For everyone that's in here, I'll go through all the trade setups tomorrow. All right. I can give you the rules right now. These are the rules. In the upper right-hand corner of your webinar, there should be a little camera. If you click on that, you can take a picture of these rules. These are the trade rules. All right. This is what I trade by all the time. Okay. But right now, I have to. Right now, I have to do the spreadsheet. Okay. Here is our spreadsheet. This spreadsheet has our daily results going all the way back to January 2nd of 2013. Okay. It's got our daily results all the way back over 2 years. Oops, today's the 9th of March.
We know what we did, how we did it, why we did it, and how it turned out. It's all documented. We record audio and video of the live trading room every day. We record audio and video of the radio show now every day. For 9 years, we just did audio, or 8.5. But of late, on the radio show, we're doing both audio and video. Okay? And then the recaps that we do each day, those are recorded. And so everything we do is fully documented. Cross every T, dot every I, the whole nine. This is so that, see, you got to hang your hat somewhere, all right? Now, let's just be honest. Some methodologies work, some don't, okay? Some people will be honest with you and some won't. I'm not casting stones. I'm speaking only of ourselves. We're very transparent. We may not be the best traders in the world. We don't argue that, okay? But we're consistent. Do we have down days? Sure. Slow market days? Sure. Most days, do we hit our mark? Yes. It's all in the spreadsheet. And on the concierge trade alert side, we did a 3-year public beta, which means you can go out on the internet and you can see every trade I called for the past 5 years now. I spread it across a number of public sites: Twitter, Seeking Alpha, StockTwits, over the past 1.5 years, I think now, Google+. I did it on public sites so that no one could ever say, well, maybe you monkeyed with the timestamp or the date stamp. You can't do that on a public site. So, all
right.
Wrap it up, Mikey. Take it home.
All right,
You feel
wrap
like
it up.
crap. You're going to come back and do the recap, or?
Yeah, I'll do the recap.
All right, because I got nothing to talk about. So.
Okay, I'll do the recap then. Today we lost 23 ticks in the Russell. We lost 12 ticks in natural gas. We made 36 ticks in crude oil, and we made 9 ticks in gold. Okay. We start at 9:30 Eastern Time, Bill. 9:30
And we
a.m.
break 9:30 to 11:30 Eastern. We break for 30 minutes and come back at 12 noon, do 2 hours of radio. And then we roll into the after show, after the radio show, which is included in the podcast and the vodcast. And sometimes that can last another 3 hours, potentially. But it won't today, I promise.
Took us 99 minutes today to get to our goal for the day. 99 minutes and 18 trades to get to $100 a contract. We took a total of 19 trades today. On the month, we're up a gross of $1,110 a contract. That's 5 days. So we're still averaging better than $200 a day per contract. Though, last year, did I do a daily average of last year? That can't be a daily average of last year. That was just a daily average of December. Something like that. Last year we had a monthly average of $6,798. That was our monthly average last year. So far this year our monthly average is $5,630. Okay. Currently on the year we're up $11,260 per contract, trading 2 hours per day with one contract. All right. That's where we stand on the day, on the month, on the week, on the year, all that stuff. Going to minimize that, and now I'll show you how to get into the next session. Okay, to get into the next session. Yeah, just a second here. To get into the next session, you just need to go to cfrn.net. The next session starts at the top of the hour. Wallace, I'll show you that in just a second, okay? To get into the next session, you go to cfrn.net, scroll down in the right-hand side where it says click here, and click there. Then scroll down where it says watch live now, and click there. And fill out this little form. Once you fill out this little form, you'll be sent a link to get into the next session, prior to the next session, every business day for the rest of the month of March. And Wallace's question, what's the net profit after commissions? If you had an $8 commission so far in the month, we're up 462 net. If you had a $5 commission so far in the month, we're up 705 net. All right, so if your commission should be somewhere in between that range, then that's where you would be on the month. Okay. All right. You'll be sent this spreadsheet, Wallace. That spreadsheet will be sent to you, so you'll be able to pick it apart however you want to. Okay.
Past performance is no guarantee of future results. It's very important to remember that.
Yes.
Trading is risky. You can lose all of your money and then some. You should consult with a licensed investment professional before making any investment decisions.
And that's it,
And
guys.
I'll see you at the, remember, new folks, support at cfrn.net. Get a hold of me if you want some one-on-one, some mentoring this afternoon. And of course, partners, clients, that door is open to you all the time. All you have to do is just call, schedule appointment. But now, don't come unprepared, okay? I mean, I'll talk to you on the phone, that's no problem, but if we're going to actually do a session with charts and everything, I want you to send me a copy of your business plan, your trading plan. I want to take a look at your journal. I want to take a look at some screenshots of some trades, because my mentoring you is not to placate you. My mentoring you is to help you fix whatever's wrong, okay? And if part of what's wrong is you haven't done your business plan and you haven't done your trading plan, well, let's get that fixed, okay? We can still work on other stuff at the same time. I'm not going to shut you down and shut you out. We can still, but you have to promise me that you're going to start doing the things that you have to do on your end, things that we can't do for you, okay? All right. I'll see you all top of the hour.